but she notices him and asks on the phone if she can call at another time. Later in the day, it's raining and Emily is doing some paperwork. Jakob gives her the magazine to look at and mentions the Black Panther that was spotted recently. He tells her that the panther is hiding within the residential areas and has killed farm animals. Emily takes a look at the magazine and sees that it's real, then hears growling noises. She laughs and tells Jakob that she knows it's him growling, but he innocently denies it and puts his hood on. As Emily walks to the staircase, she's jump scared by Jakob pretending he's the panther. She laughs and makes her way up the stairs. Jakob follows slowly and the floorboards creak. The door of Emily's room is open, and he takes a peek as she undresses her top, then her undergarments. Jakob is really into his own sister, it seems. Outside, Jakob brings out an old motorcycle and tries to get it to work. Emily watches from the side and tells him that it's not going to start, but Jakob thinks otherwise and tells her that they'll take a trip once he fixes it. The motorcycle is up and running on the road with the siblings on it. They stop at a large lake where there's some cows on the side. Emily and Jakob lay down next to each other to rest. Then Jakob points to some mountains from afar where he assumes their parents had passed. They head back home and notice a man wearing a cap walking alone down the road. The next day, Emily goes through the closets to pack all the clothes and tries on her mother's dresses. She shows an outfit to Jakob and tells him to take a look at their father's clothes. Emily tries on one of their dad's outfits and imitates him, but Jakob tells her that it's not what their dad is like. As Emily changes back to her clothes, Jakob mentions that their dad knew about them sleeping together. She freezes in the middle of buttoning her top, and Jakob puts his head down while they're in silence. The siblings hang up laundry together, then start sensually touching each other with the blanket as a barrier. They sit on the chairs and intensely look at one another. Then Jakob gets on top of Emily. He caresses her face and brings his lips to hers, but not quite kissing her. Instead, he's got his hands tightly wrapped around her neck as she reaches for his pants. Jakob starts peppering kissing on her face and neck, initiating the movement of a panther on its prey. Then everything stops and Emily wakes up and sees Jakob sleeping on the chair next to her. In the field of grass, they walk around and reminisce memories from when they were just children with their parents. Their journey leads them to the forest where they lay together under a tree, sleeping peacefully. As they're asleep, there are footsteps and noise surrounding them. The siblings wake up and see hikers creating noises with dogs on leashes, trying to drive away any signs of the Black Panther. They follow along, then stop somewhere to create a makeshift shelter using wood. They sleep once again, then continue their hike the following day. Emily and Jakob play around as they climb up hills of rocks. Jakob catches up to her and tackles her. Then Emily playfully smacks him. They wrap up their hike and return home, where Emily walks in on Jakob taking off his pants. She sits down in front of him and stares at his nether regions. Emily proceeds to slip off her clothing until she's left wearing nothing. Jakob does the same, and the tension is very strong between them. He reaches his hand out to touch her. Then Emily brings him in closer, touching and kissing each other. Then Emily gets on top of him like she's riding a motorcycle. After their exercise, the siblings go out together for drinks. Emily asks Jakob if he's ever met anyone special in a bar, and he says yes, but has never hooked up with any of them. Emily says it's sad they've never gotten to know each other. Then she moves to a different seat with her drink. She giggles about something, then looks over at Jakob, who's staring at her. She tries to suppress her smile by taking sips, then gestures to him to come over. The two role-play and imitate what it would be like if they were strangers, instead meeting up at a bar and getting to know each other. Jakob asks if he can kiss her, then they start making out. They spend their day with each other in romantic scenarios and living life as if they're just strangers in love with nothing to hide or fear. Emily and Jakob sit together in the grassy field when Emily gets a call. She tells him that it's Andreas that's calling, but doesn't bother to pick up and lies back instead, saying she'll just call back. Jakob asks her how business is going, and Emily tells him that they're just in a bit of debt, but they'll make it. Jakob then asks if she regrets taking the company, but she says she doesn't, and if it weren't for her, the company would be gone. They walk back to the house and see a man looking around. He verifies their identities and tells them that he's visiting to check the place out. Emily tells him that he can't at the moment since she wants to spend more time with Jakob, and that it would be best if he calls her husband about it. Emily holds her phone to call Andreas, but stops and thinks about it first before setting it down. She crawls to the mattress where Jakob is lying down to play with his feet, tickling and biting it. She messes around with him as he's trying to catch some sleep, pinching him and pulling his pants down. Emily gets on top of him, trying to start something, but he's annoyed and just wants some shut-eye. She's being stubborn and doesn't listen to him, continuing to cause ruckus and bother him. Eventually, he gets on top of her and yells at her to stop, which she finally does. In the morning, Emily wakes up, but Jakob has already been awake for some time. Jakob tells her that he wants to move to America with her. Then Emily just laughs about it. He explains that the two of them can move and live there together. Emily rejects the idea, telling him not to be childish, and that he doesn't even know what he wants in life yet, going back to sleep. Later in the day, Jakob sits outside and tells Emily that he doesn't know why she's making fun of him and his idea. Emily stresses out that he should know it wouldn't work out at all. Then he asks why it wouldn't. He argues that he doesn't even know why he's at the holiday house with Emily and her husband, because he doesn't care about the property or anything related to it. Emily sits down, her hands raking through her hair as she's stressed about their situation. She tells him that if he doesn't sign the agreement to sell the property, she's going to lose the company. Jakob doesn't care and says that it's her problem, not his. He talks about how Emily just left him to take over the company even though they were planning to leave together. Emily cries, saying that she's the one that takes on the responsibilities and thinks that she can do whatever she wants and leave people behind. Jakob tells her that she's just afraid and leaves her to cry. Later that night, the man wearing a cap ventures into the forest and carefully treads through the terrain. He prepares his camera as he waits for the Black Panther to reveal itself. Emily can't sleep, so she heads towards the bonfire, staring into it in a trance. Morning comes and Emily is sprawled out on the bed as her husband stands at the doorway looking at her. Andreas wakes her up and asks if she listened to the voicemail, which she did not. He explains that LeMaitre, the man that paid a visit, wants to buy the house and they need to be out of the house by afternoon. Emily nods and Andreas asks where her brother is, which she tells him she doesn't know. Andreas packs everything hurriedly, while Emily looks pensive and unsure about the entire situation. Jakob walks over to them and greets Andreas. He asks where Jakob's been, but he just walks off, not giving a reply. Emily watches from the doorway as Jakob packs his things. He doesn't respond to her either when she asks what he's doing. Jakob steps out of the house with his skateboard, and Andreas informs him about the new buyer of the house. He mentions the contract and asks Emily if they want to sign it now, but to his and Jakob's surprise, Emily confesses that she doesn't want to sign it. She explains that she wants to stay at the holiday home with Jakob and be together. Andreas looks at him and Jakob tells her that it can't happen and he can't do it anymore. He asks to see the contract so he can sign it while Andreas is confused about what's happening. Jakob leaves his signature on the contract, finalizing his decision and leaving. Emily follows after him, unbelievable at what he'd just done. Jakob confirms that he can't do whatever he's been doing with her anymore, but Emily embraces him and begs him to stay. Andreas sees them, but doesn't bear to look anymore. Emily cries on her knees and Jakob walks away, leaving his skateboard behind, and his thirsty sister. Only furniture and scraps remain inside the home, and the couple are on the road in silence. They make a stop and Andreas steps out. Emily grabs the contract and signs it, then exits the car to walk off. Andreas sees her walk away and notices the contract. Then he starts the car and drives off without her. I can't believe the movie ended that way. I guess we can assume Emily basically gifts the house to Andreas, and Andreas can care less about his incestuous wife. Honestly, same. Guy basically won the lottery if his wife was willing to let go of the money like that. What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.